Can't beat a bit of, I think it's French. I got it in Aldi. Yeah, it's a poor man's version of Kronenberg 1664, but it's just as good. You know, it's 5% and it's only £3 something for 4 cans. I got 24 cans on Saturday. £19 or something it was. Much cheaper than Mal's. Saved a lot of money there, you see. Hello, Hammerheads! Thanks for tuning in. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, yeah, new reading glasses. Anyway, at long last, my second novel, Borrowed Time, is finally in print and for sale. And it's been a nightmare getting this one out there. Oh yeah, writing it was fairly easy, but the hard work starts after you've got to the last chapter. But if if you see this on Amazon, because it's going to take a few days to, get it on all the online shops worldwide, but it will be in a few days. But that's the cover you will see on Amazon. But that's not the one. If you buy it, you'll get it with a different cover, because it's more tidied up. I've modified it. That's in the centre, different font, and that's centred also my name, but it's in white, so it stands out more, and the synopsis, slightly different font as well. And this time I didn't really do any acknowledgements, so I'll just get on with it. There's the cover page, there's the copyright page, and then chapter 1, which starts page number 1, which is a nightmare to do because to not put fucking page numbers on them, you know what I mean? But as you can see, much more reader friendly. I mean, look at that. Big font, nice and easy to read. Do you remember my first novel, The Long Cold Winter? People's biggest complaint was they couldn't see the fucking print. It was tiny. You need a bastard microscope to fucking read it. I mean, it must have, I don't know what size font it was, but I didn't have a hand in that. That was me other fucking shit publisher, which I'm not even going to bother with anymore. Publishing through Amazon publishers now, you get to keep 70% royalties, unlike them fucking cowboys. And this, it's printed in Poland. See? And it's 382 pages. Yep. So it's, it's pretty different to The Long Cold Winter. And the good thing is about this, if you have a look on Amazon, you can actually read the first 6 pages and have a look at the back and stuff, because it's a feature that I activated with Amazon. You can have a look in to see what it's like before you want to buy it and blah-de-blah-de-blah. But I'm not giving any of these away this time. The amount of copies of my first book. People, it's too expensive. Can you buy me a copy and sign it? So this person, that person, this person, the other person, fucking buying my own fucking book, spending postage and packaging to send it to them. And guess what? Most of them didn't even read it. They've just got it, stuffed it in the back of the fucking cupboard somewhere and not even looked at it, let alone fucking reviewed it. I know the people who has read it. I'm not daft. So, if you want to order a copy, and it doesn't cost the earth like The Long Cold Winter, and again, that was the fault of me publisher, you know, and fucking 16 quid or something it was. But this is like £10.63 or something. That's $13 something. It all depends on the strength of the pound. So, it doesn't cost the earth. So don't be saying, oh, it's too expensive, can you buy me a copy? Because I won't be doing it. Buy it fucking selves, you freeloading bastards. Yeah, proud of that. Put a lot of hard work into that one. Well, I did with the first one as well, but it's different. This is it's a very tragic love story. Yep. And the reason being why it was so difficult to write compared to The Long Cold Winter is because, you know, as soon as this character gets to Tennessee in the States, every single chapter from then on has to have the same two characters in them. Although there'll be other people in them here and there as well, I had to keep the reader enthralled. You know, these two characters, the relationship. I had to really work so people wouldn't get bored of them, and you can imagine how difficult it was. I mean, there was a lot of chapters, you know, in succession where it's only these two characters. And I had to really work at that. I think I pulled it off. And as soon as he gets to America, everybody out there talks differently. And it's portrayed in here, in context, you know, so you've got the deep South accent all the way through it when he gets there. Except for himself, of course. And there's a lot of y'alls in it. Everyone says y'all. So, there you go. Borrowed Time. And you know, the funny thing is, The Long Cold Winter, before I published it, was actually called Borrowed Time. And I didn't think it had a great ring to it, so I changed it to The Long Cold Winter, because it has more of a ring as to which kind of book it is, you know? A bit like The Long Good Friday, for instance, that classic British gangster film starring Bob Hoskins and Helen Mirren. The Long Good Friday, The Long Cold Winter. And I haven't seen any more titles called The Long Cold Winter. Just an album by Cinderella. See, that title, it can fit both books. That's why I had it for, I mean, The Long Cold Winter had a few different titles. It had Once Upon a Time in the North, too cheesy. I think it was also called Body Count, which is a bit too blunt. Borrowed Time. And there's actually a few prints out there of this, rare ones, under the title of Borrowed Time. Not this, The Long Cold Winter. There's one at my mother's somewhere, a hardback. Yeah, so there you go. I'll read the synopsis on the back. I can't resist. It's not a massive one like The Long Cold Winter. I mean, I've only got a rough version of that. This is The Long Cold Winter. It's, again, just a rough draft. I keep all my passwords and shit in the back, and You know, I mean, look at the size of that synopsis. Fucking hell. Be quicker reading the Yellow Pages cover to cover, wouldn't it? Yes, and look at the print. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, if you compare it to that, for instance, see the difference? I mean, obviously, the one of this, it's actually for sale. The lines are all, they haven't got a big space like that. Like I say, this is just a rough version. Right. Whew. At last, I can relax now and reap any profits and rewards that wing them to my way. Ha. Steve Palmer is a manic depressive 40-something single parent to his 18-year-old daughter, Heather, who he also considers to be his best friend. But there's one integral ingredient missing from his life, which is love. In between the long hours working as a team leader in an automotive factory in the north of England, he dedicates the rest of his hours to advising his daughter on the meaning of life and scouring the internet for female companionship for both their sakes. His daughter also wants a mother figure. After a series of disastrous dates with women he meets online, he decides to travel to America to meet a woman he's been chatting to for 7 months. They rent a remote cabin in Tennessee where they befriend a black bear. But all is not what it seems, and unbeknown to them, disaster isn't very far away. This is a story of love, tragedy, and courage as we follow the two protagonists throughout their adventurous and treacherous journey until the heart-stopping climax. There you go. And obviously I couldn't call this one Long Cold Winter because it's set in a scorching summer. I almost called it The Long Hot Summer, but nah, that means the third book will have to be called The Long Mild Autumn, and then, no, the Long Warm Spring, and The Long Mild Autumn. Anyway, I'll see you later.